Hi, you guys. Hello, you guys. If you guys hear my dishwasher going on in the back, you don't. So ignore that. How are you guys? Happy Sunday to you guys. We are back for another book club. Does it not literally feel like we were just here for Friday I'm in Love? That could be because Friday I'm in Love, that book club was on like July 2nd or something, maybe even July 4th. No, I wouldn't do it on the 4th of July. But yeah, that book club was like literally 3 weeks ago. But we are here today to talk about Last Chance Dance by Lakita Wilson. I know July went by so quickly. I can't believe where I live, the kids are going back to school next week. So not the week coming up. They go back to school next Monday. And I can't believe it. I'm happy they're going back. Yes, I need them to not be around when I'm outside during the day, but I can't believe it's already time to go back to school. My niece and nephew are already back in school. I cannot, I just feel like the day I can't keep up. But you guys realize like it's Christmas time almost. Like I was doing my end of the year budget. I was doing my end of the year budget because my birthday's in October. My partner's birthday is in September. And then I'm like a Christmas girly. I like to decorate. Like I go all out for Christmas, decorations outside, decorations inside. So I was like budgeting for like everything. And I'm just like, I am budgeting for the freaking new year because I also want to go skiing. I'm not skiing nowhere. I'm going to be sitting in a lodge by the fire reading a book, but like just the idea. And so I was thinking about that. I'm just like, it is the end of the year. I just feel like I just celebrated the new year. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But anyways, we are going to be talking about Last Chance Dance by Lakita Wilson. If you read this book, what would you rate this book? I'm going to start by telling you guys what I rate this book, what I think worked, what I didn't think worked, and then we're going to hit the characters. I think I'm going to like do this by character, and then that's how I think I'm going to make the entire thing come together. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. But while you guys are telling what you think of the book, I'm going to tell everyone what this book is about. So, this book is called Last Chance Dance. And in this book, we are following a character named Leela. She has been dating this Indian boy at her school. His name is Dev. They met each other at what, Target? They met each other at Target, I think. And basically, they started dating her freshman year of high school. And so they dated for 4 years. And then one day she's going on a trip with him for like summer because they're about to graduate. And he just breaks up with her. He just breaks up with her. And he's like, yeah, girl, I'm going off to college and you're not, like, you're going to a different college. So there's just no point in us like being together. So he breaks up with her. She is absolutely distraught. Distraught. She can't believe it. She can't believe that they're not going to be this perfect couple anymore. And because like they've been like the longest running couple at their school besides this other couple, like everyone like roots them on and cheers them on. So anyway, she's distraught. So she has a best friend named Bree. And basically, Brie is like, well, all is not lost because we have this last chance dance. And in this last chance dance, basically, you choose three people who you would like, two people who you would like to go on a date with. And then you get matched with them. And then there's a wild card where, like, the based on the answers that you chose to this questionnaire, you get matched with someone by the system. And basically, that is what she does. She gets matched with this girl named Eva. It's three people. She gets matched with this girl named Eva. She gets matched with this white boy named Mason. She gets matched with this like model wannabe named Kai. And then her wild card match is this boy named Trey. Trey is a boy she has known since like middle school or maybe even elementary school. And basically they have never got along. They constantly go back and forth and bicker with each other. So she has to go on dates with all four of these people. And so we're following her as she goes on these dates, but she doesn't really want to go on these dates because she has Dev. So basically her idea is kind of to make Dev jealous. Like maybe if he sees her with all these people, he'll want her back. And she sees that he's kind of moving on with another girl because he's also doing the dates and deciding who he is going to be with. And so in this book, you are just following these kids as they try to understand like what's going to happen in the next phase of their life and them trying to figure out their dating life. Okay, that's what's going on in this book. LOL. Yes, they were. We'll get all into that. So we have 3.54, 3.54, 3, 3.54, 2.75, 3, 4. Wow, this might be the most like all over the place. The ratings are 4.55. 4.5, 3.5. Okay, we can do this all day, but I'll get into it. Okay. I think 3.5 to 4.5 is where I think this book should honestly fall for most people. I think anything lower than that, like woo you strict. Like woo you strict if you go anything lower than 3.5, because even if one thing you don't like YA or two, you just didn't like the story, this is a perfectly like competent story. It's easy to follow. It's well written. It has good moments. It follows a good narrative, like narrative structure. Like it works. I think altogether it works. So it should be at least 3. And then if you did enjoy it, you will boast it up higher. Kenya is going to give this book 4 stars. Kenya's going to give this book 4 stars. Kenya's going to give this book 4. I'm giving this book 4 stars. I am giving this book 4 stars. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of everything, but I'm going to start off and tell you what like worked and what didn't work. What worked about this book was I went into this book with like kind of low expectations. Like I didn't love the cover of the book. I don't like the cover art of this book. And like it's called Last Chance Dance. Like I came into this book with so much like preconceived notions of what this book was going to be. I thought it was just going to be about a girl who goes on dates with people and like she ends up liking one of them. But boy, was I actually blown away by what this book actually was. Like when it started off with like Dev, number one, I was worried because in this book club, we read about Black people falling in love. So I was like, oh my gosh, like who knew I was choosing a book? You know, the swirl, I was down with the swirl, but I wasn't going to mind it because at least he wasn't white. But then when she got broken up with, I was just like, whoa. And so I thought like after she got broken up with, like that section of the story was going to be over because that was in the prologue. So I was just like, okay, that boy is done. That boy is over. But then I got even more surprised when Dev stays in the story. Dev stays in the story. He has that girl that they were slut shaming to hell in this book. They have that girl that he's like seeing and stuff. And I'm like, oh, so it's drama, it's juicy. And then you have Bree coming in. Bree is our lesbian, and she is just, you know, free with it. She is spreading her wild oats to everybody. And she was so much fun. And then you get the different dates. And then I thought when we were going on the different dates, I was like, they're kind of going to brush over the different dates because it's obvious that Trey is the love interest, right? So they're going to brush over it. But no, we go on the dates with her. We get to see what happens with her and Kai when he's trying to get her to have an eating disorder. We get to see what happens with Mason. We get to see what happens with Eva. And then we get to see what happens with Trey. This book has so many. And then you have like the Dev relationship. And then you have everything that's going on with like her home and family life. I really, really enjoyed everything. For this to be a book that is so short, I enjoyed everything that was going on in this book. It like I'm like, wait, this book has like layers, like interesting layers. Now, I say it to say the reason why this book actually doesn't get 5 stars is I was waiting for this book to like fully invest in the Trey love, like to fully like make Trey the love interest. And I think because so many things were happening in this book, when it was time to like make Trey the moment, like it kept like reneging on it. It kept reneging on it. And like there just wasn't enough time after like, the third act breakup. There wasn't enough time to like really make Leela and Trey like the love interest. It in the end, it does still go heavy on the like Dev and what her relationship is going to be like with Dev and like how that all works, him trying to get back with her. And I honestly wish like after they worked together, that like they worked together for the last time and was just like, we cool, we ain't got to do all this. I just kind of wish Dev would have just like went away and we not see Dev again at the party. I did enjoy like Trey, like everything that happened at the party, but I just wish there was more of Trey and Leela. So like that could really like seal this story together. Because if it would have just sealed that in together, this would have been a 5-star book, because I read this entire book in one day. Usually I read the books on the weekend, but I wasn't doing anything on Thursday. And so I read this whole book all on Thursday and I had the time of my life. Like I just love when I can read a book in one day. And this is 100% a read in one day. Like it is a nice, fun ride. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself way more. And it actually made me rethink some of the ratings I gave other books, because I'm like, this book was like really, really fun. This book is really, really fun. I enjoyed it. I agree. Trey was done so dirty in this book. And every time you expect like Trey to finally get his moment, like Trey to finally be taken seriously as a love interest, like it falls short. Like they just like, it still doesn't get that. I'm just like, can Trey get some? Like, can Trey have his moment of being the hero that he is destined to be? It's such a fun read. I was blown. I was so surprised by this book, because like when I knew I was going to choose it when I saw that it was coming out this year. And I was just like, okay, like we're going to read another young adult book. I know the girls don't love young adult, but like, I'm sorry, we're reading another young adult book. And like, I was like, wait a minute. Like, no, this is like a really like strong book. I enjoyed it. And that's how it felt, friend. Like it felt, they kept like making Trey like the thirsty. And I was waiting for that moment for Leela like to really like Trey. And I just feel like it never really came, like we as the reader feel like they should be together because like it works. Like I like you guys, I like the banter, I like the back and forth, but it never felt like Leela really felt, I hope that's how you pronounce that girl name, child. It never felt like she really wanted to be with Trey. It almost felt like Trey was like her, like a brother to her. And I was just like, no, we need to wake this up. And so when Dev comes back into the picture, it's just like, girl, you still want to be with Dev. It was given, she still wanted to be with Dev, and I did not like that. No, I agree. Baby, when he started moving that food off her plate, when he started moving that food off her plate, I thought was hilarious. And let's get into everything that happened in this book. I want to say that Trey is absolutely hilarious. I always say this, like books try to do things or say things are funny, or a character will laugh in a book and you're like, that's not funny. Like they'll laugh at the hero will say something and our character is just like just laughing, cackling down. It's just like, it's not funny. Like the dialogue here is not funny. What was I supposed to take from this? You guys, there are many times in this book that I thought Trey was absolutely hilarious. There is on page 71, he is trying to make Leela feel better about herself. And he's like, actually, I made a list of all the girls, of all the celebrities who have big foreheads and still get men so you can feel better. He's like, starting with Rihanna. And I thought that was so fucking hilarious. Like, I like literally died. And when he said she like, be careful, and she was like, it's just right here. He's like, no, don't hit your big forehead on my like on my door. He was so fucking funny when he called the little white boy who does social justice, when he called him Mason Luther King. Trey was hilarious, like actually genuinely funny. When he tried to like do a roast at the school, when he wanted everyone to roast him, and then everyone was coming up to roast him, and he wouldn't give the mic away, and he was just shaking his head, and he was like, "There ain't no way I could have made all of y'all mad." Like that is so fucking funny. Like Trey was genuinely funny, and I like the fact that it was juxtaposed with him at like him still saying he had a crush on Leela. Like even though he was making fun of her, it wasn't just he was making fun of her, and he was also like, "You're disgusting." Like he kept saying like, "You have a big forehead," and like, "I really think you look good." Like I love that. Like Trey, I'm sorry, like in my end of the year rep, but Trey might be my favorite character of the year. Like I thought he was absolutely hilarious. Like every bit of dialogue that he had, like genuinely made me laugh. And I'm just like, this is the dialogue I want to see. It was so funny. Mason Luther King, like it was so funny. It was so funny because Mason did care was a bit too much in black business. Like it was so funny. He did. Oh, it was so cute when he changed out the picture. When he changed out the picture because he didn't want her to like see a picture of her with Dev. So like because they was for the people who didn't read, because they were like the cutest couple, her and Dev, they won like cutest couple in the superlatives, but he didn't want to make her sad. So he changed out the picture to him and the dog. I like the stuff with the dog. I like the stuff with him having to write the essay for like, I'm sorry, I love Trey. And that's why it bothered me so when Trey did not get his moment, because I was just like, Trey is so good. Trey is such a good hero. He's such a good love interest. Like Trey was the best. Trey was the best. Trey is what got me through this book. He was so fun, like genuinely funny, because oftentimes when you have like a boy who is like making fun of the the girl that he likes, usually it's just like, okay, you're doing a not like no, he was genuinely hilarious. Like, I'm sorry, he was hilarious. They gave him a good backstory with everything that was happening with his dad. Once I found out he had money, I was really like, Layla, you better go. When I saw he had a Tesla, I was like, Layla, what are we doing? What are we doing? Dev wasn't whipping that. Dev wasn't whipping the Tesla, girl. I'm just like, no, like you should go after him. And I actually thought that her reason for not liking Trey was a good reason. Like them having beef, like for what he said, and him being like too jokey. Now, why did he call Bree muscles? Why did he call Bree muscles when Layla was like, yeah, I'm gonna get him to tone down the jokes? Like, I was like, not too much, Trey. Not too much, Trey, but it was so damn good. The getting drunk at the party. Like, I'm sorry, I could gush all day. Press, because he really thought we about to get into Dev. Let's get into Dev real quick. No, I think this needs a cover change. I don't know what to tell you. Like literally, I remember being at the 50-page mark of this, and I was like, wait, this book is really good. This book is really, like, I literally remember sitting on my couch making that mental note, like, why the fuck am I enjoying this book? Because like, no shade, even though this is my book club, like I pick books and fully expect like not to like them. I'm sorry. Like I fully expect to just be like, I thought it was just going to be fine. But then when I saw all the added layer, it was the moment where after she got broken up with and she showed up to like she was at school in the class and Dev was with the other girl and he like was like, you know, letting her put her hands around him and stuff like that. I'm like, wait, this is messy. I said, wait, this is messy. That brings me to another thing I love about this book. This book like had the like almost fictionalized high school thing down, like fully down. Like usually in America, especially, like high schools are not that diverse. High schools are not that diverse. You are not just going to get openly bisexual kids, openly lesbian kids, a bunch of kids of different ethnicities, of different races, all coming together, all wanting to date each other. And I think like when you're writing fiction, I think there's an important balance to have where like we can discuss, like, things can be fictional and fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, high school can be fictional and fun and whimsical, and it's just all these kids getting along. This book had like real issues. It was talking about people whose parents break up. It had race things, it had sexuality things, it had all of those things, but it still didn't forget to be a really fun high school. Like, this high school just seemed really, really fun. It seemed like a high school you wanted to be with. And I thought the world building in this, building up this high school, building up these characters and like everything that goes on, like someone said before, these kids were swingers, baby. These kids were was full-blown swingers. They was all dating each other when Bree and Leela both put Ava's name down as a match. I was like, this is so much fun. And that's the best part of this book. The premise, I literally put in my notes, the premise of this is so good. The premise of like the last chance dance, the premise of all these kids for 2 weeks speed dating. I was just like, wait a minute, because I just thought it was like a last chance dance. That's just what the name of the dance was going to be called. But like, no, this was a good idea. This was such fun. This is like something that could like keep on going. If Lakita Wilson wanted to write more books like in the world of this high school, I would totally pick them up, because this is just a good idea for a book. A bunch of high schoolers like speed dating one another and all the mess and all the drama that ensues from them speed dating. This book needs the cover. I don't mind the cover. The cover is not ugly. The cover doesn't do justice to like what really, like, this book is really good. Like, not even like young adult good. It's like really good. And it's the reason why me now as a reader, I'm leaning more towards young adult, because I want books that have like romance aspects, because I just love the joy that comes with reading romance. But like, I need them to be doing stuff. I need stuff to be happening. And I feel like in adult romance, these people don't be doing nothing. It just be kissing and smut. And I ain't got time for it. Like, I want to see characters like doing stuff and having sticky situations. And that's what you got with this book. Why am I gushing about the book? The more I talk about the book, I'm still not going to give 5 stars because they fucking did Trey dirty. But I loved it. I loved it. Dev could really go. That actually brings me to the actual first part of my notes. Dev, I feel like when it comes to the shitty boyfriend characters used to have, like the boyfriend that like they always leave in the beginning, I always come to their defense. And I'm gonna do it again today. Dev should have broke up with Leila. I'm sorry. In the beginning, I was 100% on Dev's side. I don't know what to tell you. They needed to break up because they weren't going to college in the same state. They weren't going to college in the same state. They've been together for 4 years, and Leila was over here talking about forever. She was over here talking about forever. We gonna be together forever. We gonna do this forever. It is just like, girl, like, we are in high school. Dev was in the right, in my opinion. What do we think, friends? What do we think, friends? Because if you ask me, Dev had every single right to break up with her. Like, it's just becoming a lot. Now, my issue with Dev brings, if he was going to break up with her, why did he then want to date to the last chance dance? Like, I get, because I was thinking it was like Trey was saying. He was with the girl, they was slut shaming because it's what she represented. He wanted freedom. Trey ate with that line, by the way. Trey ate with that line. He wanted freedom. But my thing is, he was still dating and wanted to be with girls and still wanted to go to the last chance dance. Like, you could have just been a philanderer like Brie was being. Like, what? I didn't understand Dev's motives after that. Like, he had every right to break up with her, but I didn't understand, like, then why after breaking up with her are you still with other girls? Like, then you could have just broke up with her after the last chance dance and y'all could have just went to the last chance dance with each other. But all that, I had no issue with Dev breaking up with her, because I'm just like, because before I knew where this book was going, I was like, are they really gonna like be together? Like, I'm sorry, I am no fan, and this just comes with me being cynical. I am no fan of a high school relationship. I am no fan of a high school relationship. Like when I read adult romance and like the adults have known each other since high school, I immediately close the book because I'm just like, ooh, go see the world, girl. Go see the world. But I was just like, y'all should break up. So I'm on Dev's side. Dev needed some freedom. Dating the same person for 4 years, and then you're going off to college and y'all not even going to the same college. But then I say that and I had to walk that back because what I loved about the end of Charming as a Verb, the book Charming as a Verb, is that they didn't go to the same college, but they were meeting up with each other. But they weren't together for 4 years. They only dated in the high school. So like it made sense for them still to be dating in college. These people dated for 4 years. What y'all think? Comments. Thank you, Darby. There's 2 people. We can get into that next. Justice for Mason and justice for Darby. Darby was not doing nothing to nobody. Darby was getting caught up in their little prudish little love, their little prudish little puppy love, and was getting called all types of sluts and hoes. Was getting called all types of sluts and hoes because she was cute. Because the block was hot on her, she was getting all types of sluts and hoes. No, I do not like her. She was being used by Dev. And so, yeah, I agree too. He started doubling back, and it was just like, now wait, if you wanted to go to the last chance dance, you could have just went to the last chance dance with her. Like, what would be the point of, and that's why when Trey got caught up lying, changing the result, it's just like, as he should have, because like, what would it look like if Dev would have been her wild card anyway? Like, they could have just goddamn stayed together. Like, y'all broke up for a damn reason. I didn't fully understand that. And another reason what really made me be on Dev's side when I was like, no, Dev, you speaking that truth. So they worked together at a museum. For the people who didn't read, they worked together at a museum. This takes place in DC, by the way. They worked together at a museum. And when they were doing the first tour after he broke up with her, and she was like bringing in a little kitty bop relationship drama into the tour, and Dev had to pull her aside and say, girl, go home. Like, girl, if it's gonna be all this, go home. We are here to do a job. We are trying to give tours to the people, give tours to the kids, and they deserve a good tour. And you over here talking about some goddamn relationship. Like, I ain't got time for it. And he was absolutely right, because baby Leela was doing too much, like just distraught over this man. Everybody else looking around like, girl, it's not that deep. And her reasons for being distraught, like, I want it to be the longest running couple, and what are all my friends gonna think about, and we're not gonna have forever. It's just like, girl, you got a whole lot of life to live. You got a whole lot of life to live. I don't know what Layla got on my nerves more often. Yes, justice for Mason. Yes. Got on my nerves a whole lot more than I would like to really say. You want to know the reason why I'm saying justice for Mason? What was the worst thing Mason did? He couldn't kiss. Dev sucked. She's over here literally like about to cry and throw up every 2 seconds because of Dev, but Mason can't kiss, and all of a sudden she's just like, I'm done. Like, he's just terrible. I can't fucking do this anymore. But she's still going home to cry over Dev every goddamn day. If she can put up with fucking Dev for 4 years, I think Mason being a kid and not knowing how to kiss just ain't all that bad. She was absolutely fucking disgusted that Mason didn't know how to kiss, and this is where I have to take this back to being a child's book. Like, he's a kid. I'm sure she ain't kissing all that great either. Like, be serious. Like, if I'm going to sit up here and let her complain about Dev every single goddamn chapter, Mason ain't that bad. Mason is not that bad. Mason does not become bad until she like breaks up with him. And like, I think he has the right to be mad. You broke up with me because I couldn't kiss. Like, for number one, this is just to go to this raggedy ass dance. Like, nobody is saying, this is Layla still in this mindset that things have to be fucking forever. And then when you take into account that she ends up with Trev, who she also has major, like she has issues with, it's just like, what did Mason do so bad? Dev sucks. Trey sucks as a person. She don't like him, and he makes too many goddamn jokes. And he made a joke about her family. So what made Mason so horrible? She loved Mason up into the kid. Like, Mason just didn't do nothing that bad. Mason didn't do nothing that bad. For her to just, like, she excused everything. And then when we get into the Eva of it all, because that's when Leela really like blew the fuck out of me, it's just like, I think Mason was your best choice, like, at least, and that's what pissed me off and why I took a star off, because it's just like, if we was just gonna throw Mason to the side anyways, Trev could have got the 2 good dates that they had, you know? That's what we could have been. We could have like went through Mason real quick. I'm sorry, Mason didn't do nothing that bad. Mason did not get nasty until it was warranted for him to be nasty. Thank you, friend. Thank you, Danny. Like, so strict. Like, when did all of a sudden she get strict? I'm just like, you are literally crying over your ex every 2 pages. And like, we have not seen anything about him that is so goddamn great. Like, we have not seen a thing. Mason, you're just like, y'all sending back and forth, texting to each other. He gave you a good date. You've liked him for a little minute. Like, he said he's been waiting for you to be single. I like the little thing about the breadsticks. That this book had so many good moments. The little story about the breadsticks. I love the little stuff that they gave each other, like the backstories everyone had that all like connected to each other. Anyway, the thing about the breadsticks was a good story. I'm like, and all he couldn't do was kiss. Like, you couldn't teach him how to kiss. Like I said, they kids. They kids. I just felt like she was being way too strict. And then when it came to everybody else, she wasn't that strict. For example, Kai sucked. Kai sucked. And she had all these like, well, at least he's like, he has ambition. At least he has goals. I don't want to do yoga, but I'll do yoga for Kai. You know, if he doesn't want to eat food and clearly has an eating disorder as an 18-year-old, it's fine. It's fine. But as long as he doesn't tell me, he has to literally take food off of her plate for her to be like, maybe I shouldn't be with him. But Mason can't know, like, he don't get to know now how to kiss. He what? Like, it just seemed out of character for the character. She had all this grace for every other person, but then when Mason came along and he didn't know how to kiss, and she never gave Darby. She never gave, like, she just was so experienced in the dating and love life, in the intimacy life. So I'm just like, girl, like, who are you? Who are you? Like, no, I think justice for Mason. I don't think Mason did anything that bad to warrant her just being like cold stop, like cold hard stop. Like, I don't want nothing. I don't think he was that bad. I don't think it was that bad. I'm sorry. Exactly. And so it's just like, why not see Mason the same way? At least you like Mason. And that was my issue. Like, everything just kept going back to the dev of it all. And we didn't have time to like fully, enjoy the different dates and the different guys and everything that was going on with that. But can we talk about the Eva situation of it all? This is when I said Layla may be diabolical. Like, she may be diabolical. She may be evil. So for my people who didn't read, we have some sapphic love going on in here. Remember that best friend Bree I was telling you about? Bree is a good old thought. Brie liked to thought and bop and date everybody, and she is the only person seeing high school for what high school is, unserious. And so Brie has matched with this girl named Eva, and she has liked Eva for a very, very long time. Eva is the girl on the cover. And so Eva and Brie go on a date. But the thing is, Layla also matched with Eva because our main character, Layla, is bisexual. And so they both match with this girl named Eva. And so Bree's like, girl, the whole point of this is to define our love. If Eva is your love, then y'all can be together. If she's my love, we can be together. There was no beef, no drama. Like, you know what? It don't even matter. Like, we both trying to see what the girls are doing. And so Bree hits it off with this Eva girl. They go on a date. It's good fun. But Bree is still, seeing what's on the market, because that's the point of this. And they graduate in high school in 2 weeks. So it's just like, let's see what's out there. So Bree is going on dates with her other girls. Now, this is where it gets a little bit convoluted. So stay with me, friends. Layla has a sister named Riley, and Riley likes to film stuff. Like, she has a podcast, YouTube channel. So she likes to film stuff. And so Bree was hanging out with Layla's sister Riley, and Riley was filming Bree hanging out with another girl that wasn't Eva after she had her date with Eva. And so Eva is on her date with our main character, Leela. And so Leela's like, why would she post that? I thought she wanted Eva. And so they get to talking about Brie. Layla has decided, I keep changing her name for whatever the moment is. Layla has decided that she likes Eva, because after she done ran through Kai and ran through Mason, she like, ooh, I'm running out of options, and she don't want to be with Trey. So she likes Eva. They're hitting it off. They're doing this. There's like this like C plot about this bookstore and getting books for the library and stuff. So they're doing all types of stuff for that. Stay with me. You stay with me. They're doing all types of stuff for that. So she likes Eva, and she's like, I want to go to the dance with Eva, like bisexual need, they need justice. She's ready to be, her bisexual era. She's ready to start her bisexual era. All of a sudden, Eva goes, girl, like, I know, but I don't want you. Like, you're cool and all, and saving the library and getting more Black books in the library is cool, but like, I don't really like you like that. And so you expect for Leela to be like, that's no problem, no beef, because me and Bree already decided there wasn't going to be no beef. That's not what Layla does. Layla goes on an entire rant about how Bree will never want you. Bree is a philanderer. Bree will never settle down. I was just talking to Bree the other day, and she says she ain't even want you. Bree says she gonna exhaust all her options. Bree ain't never gonna settle down with you. Have you ever seen Bree settle down with somebody? What make you think she gonna settle down with you? Bree ain't even all that. Bree ain't even all that. Bree ain't, and I'm just like, who the hell talks about their best friend? Like, the thing is she lying? No, she's not lying. Bree did say all of that stuff, but Bree said that stuff to you. Bree said that stuff to you because y'all are friends, and you sit up here just because the girl because Eva wants Bree. You sit and tell all Bree business, and you throw it in her face that she, likes to, she likes to experience everybody. She basically just calls her a big fat slut in front of Eva in hopes that Eva will then choose her. Tell me Leela is not weird. That scene blew me because Leela was already on my nerves after the whole Mason thing. But then I was just like, okay, but when she did that, I'm just like, ooh, you're pathetic. Like, now you're leaning towards pathetic because we came from the beginning and you told Bree it was no drama. Mind you, if anyone has claims on Eva, it should be Bree, because I actually agreed with the math that Bree did at the beginning, where she was explaining that, like, because she's a full lesbian, she should have Eva. I agree with her math. Her math was math in there because, like, Bree always wanted Eva. That's the real point. Bree always said that she liked Eva. So I thought Bree should have. So Bree actually has more claims to Eva than Layla does, because Layla it's been Dev this entire time. And so the fact that Bree is doing what the point of the book is, last chance dance, dating a bunch of people, you throw it in her face that she's dating other people and hope that the girl that she should be with you. Let's talk, friends. Thank you. There it is. She was nasty. Like, that was such a nasty moment. Like, I was looking at the book like, like, the more she kept talking, the more I was just like, you are really throwing your friend under the bus because you have no more options. You have exhausted all your options. Deb don't want you. Mason don't want you. Kai don't want you. And you won't give Trey the time of day. You've exhausted all your options, and now you leaning into pathetic. Bree ain't did nothing to you. Keep in mind, it was Bree is the one who even did all of this. Bree is the one who even set all of this up. Bree is the inventor of the last chance dance, by the way. Like, Bree is the one who did all this. She's the reason why you're not sitting at home crying and you just throw her under the bus because you decided it's your bisexual era. I say you're gross. Thank you. I did not like her. I did not like her. Like, that's where you're like, justice for Mason. Yes. Like, sorry, Leela sucked. She sucked. And she was so, like, worried about what everyone else, when she pulled that, I went back and forth on the stunt she pulled with, like, her mama boyfriend, because, that scene was also funny too. Oh my gosh, the scene about the BMW. Like, this book has so many funny moments. But yeah, no, that scene rubbed me fully the wrong way. I did not like that. Oh my gosh, I love Riley. That's literally in my notes. Riley, the whole Riley, like, interviewing everyone. That was so good. That was so like that, like I said, this, if you have not read this book, please go pick up this book. Like, even if you like aren't gonna like it as much as I liked and other people, I just think it's like, y'all read worse books. Y'all read worse books every day. Like, this book has so many like good elements. Like, I enjoy, like, that was another added thing that I think added to like the world of everything. Riley trying to interview people, Riley wanting to see who was breaking up with who, and then in the end, that being the thing that really brings her and Trey together. I really liked Riley in the book, right? I love a nice little nosy friend. Yes, that was her bestie. That was her whole bestie. Bree and Leela are like this. They're like this. Like, they're the whole, like that. That's what this whole thing is. And Bree is like, Bree knows that she's like a philanderer. Like, that's her thing. Like, she knows that she likes to, you know, be with everybody. She wants to experience everything. Like, she doesn't want to be tied down. And so for Layla to use Bree's truth against her is just really, really crazy. All because, and mind you, she only did it. What makes this worse is she did it once Eva says she didn't want her. Because they were doing perfectly fine. They were doing all the stuff for the books, and they were trying to get books for the library and doing all of that, and everything was fine. When Leela thought like, oh my gosh, I got my girl, she likes me. And Bree was on a date with someone else. She thought like Eva was her girl. And so then when Eva's just like, you're cool, like, I always want to hang out with you. I've had a really good time, but girl, I don't really like you like that. That's when she started to spill Bree business. And it's just like, what? Who does this? Who does this? Bree would have never did that to her. And that was insane. And yes, Bree did get in that ass after she did that. And I needed that moment to be in the book, because I'm just like, are we going to act like this is normal? And by the way, if you didn't read the book, Eva was still like, yeah, that's great, but I still don't want you, girl. You did all that. You threw your friend under the bus just for the girl to still be like, that's cool, but like, I'll still take her over you. I'll still take the girl who is unavailable over you any day. And I'm like, that's exactly what you did, Leela. You don't see how your desperation is why no one wants you. How you have run everyone away because you're literally so desperate to have this love story that like doesn't matter. Everyone is seeing things as what they are. Like, it's not that deep. Like, we're in high school, we're gonna graduate in 2 weeks. Like, it's not that serious. And you're over here just acting like this is the end all be all. So yes, Bree did get in that ass because like, and another thing, it wasn't like regular, like, you know, Bree's like really not that type of girl. Bree is not like the relationship type of girl. So I would just be careful. It was not like that. It was full blown. Let me rant about my best friend. Let me rant about my best friend and how my best friend is a slut. Therefore, she can never be with you for an extended period of time, and you need to let that go. And Eva was just like, I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances than be with you. Lily didn't see her own foolishness. No, I didn't love the mom either. The mom also put her kid. Let's talk about mama. Okay, so then this book has another element. There's another element where she has a dad who lives in Houston. The daddy's always be gone, child. So her parents got divorced and moved. He started a new family in Houston, and basically the mom likes to like go on dates and have different boyfriends and all types of stuff like that. I said in my notes, mama wanted to be her friend a little too much. Mama saw Layla as her friend a little bit too much. There wasn't a lot of parenting going on in the home, even with the whole like Dev thing. Like, you don't see that your daughter is struggling. Your daughter is struggling, and you simply just like, well, girl, it's okay, girl. And this is just like, you too worried about these boyfriends, got the boyfriends in the house, got the boyfriends in the car. And it's just like, she wasn't like rude or mean or anything. I did like the aspect of a mother, specifically a Black mother, allowing their daughter to date and allowing their daughter to explore themselves sexually. This book does not have any like homophobia issues, or like people having an issue with Bree being a lesbian, or people having an issue with Leela being bisexual. There's no issues like that. And I thought that was like really refreshing to have a book like that, where like, that's why I like the fictional aspect of this world, where like everyone kind of just sees each other as is. But the mama was just a little too preoccupied for my taste. And then daddy can't stay over at the house. And the thing is, I get it. Maybe daddy shouldn't even been staying over at the house, but like, why not? So there was an issue with their daddy was coming in from Houston, and usually their daddy come in from Houston and stay at their house. But since her mama got a boyfriend, daddy can't stay at the house no more. And so like the girls are just like, absolutely not. The girls are pissed off about that. And it's like, why would you not explain that to your daughters? Why would you not explain to your daughters, like, I have a man now, things are going to be a little bit different, because you're too busy running around with these men. You too busy running around with these men. That's it. That's literally the only time. Riley was the mother. Riley was the mother. Riley was the mother. Riley was the mother in that house. Because baby, you see why Layla was a fool, because her mama was a fool. When she picked up the daughter when Layla said she needed a ride back from the job, and mama act like she did not want to give her daughter a ride because she had a man. I'm just like, now wait a minute, like, hold up. Because at first I thought mama was at work or something. So I thought when mama was hesitant, it was like, I'm doing something, girl. I was like, oh, mama at work. And I get that. Mama got to pay the bills. Mama got to pay the bills. I get that. But then when I saw mama just was on a date, your daughter is saying she needs you to pick her up and you just on a date. Like, be serious. Be fucking serious. Let that nigga walk home. Like, your daughter said she needed you. No, I didn't like mama either. I did not like mama either. The grandma 100% was the baby. The mama was absent as hell, and it explained why Leela's life was a goddamn mess. So many moments are funny. Like, oh my gosh, you guys should pick. Like, if anything, if you want to read a book that is genuinely a comedy, this book is genuinely a comedy. Like, the dialogue in this book is so funny. Like, it's so damn funny. Like, it's obvious an adult wrote the book, because like it's that funny. Like, it's like fictionalized talk, like, but it's so real. Like, the stuff, like, every time Trey calls her 5, and he's calling her 5 because she has a big ass forehead, like, it's just so funny. And he doesn't stop calling her it. He doesn't stop making jokes about her, and like, it's so damn funny. But she makes jokes at him back that are also funny. I'm telling you, the roast is one of the best moments. Like, everyone having something negative to say about him. Like, him putting a whole roast together and thinking no one has anything bad to say about him. And then everyone starts lining up to start saying negative shit about them, because they all sick and tired of his goddamn jokes. And they've been sick of his jokes for since like elementary school. It's so funny. It is so damn funny. Ready to drag him, and when he was like over it, he was just like, no, her mama was insane. Her mama was insane and was too worried about like being a friend to her. Let me go back to my notes, make sure I'm getting through everything. I did say I wish we got more of Bree. I do wish, but it was so dev heavy. It was so dev heavy that I wish like some of the moments we spent with like Dev, we spent with Bree. I just wanted more moments with Bree, because I thought Bree was a really underutilized character. I love the idea of there being this lesbian character, this mask presenting lesbian character who had so many options, and she was running through I love that. I love that idea of just having someone who is like a child who was like fully actualized and is comfortable with their sexuality. Another thing I really liked about this book was the fact that this was a Black girl, and she was going to a school that had all different races of color, but baby, she had options. Baby, she had options. It was no shortage of men who was lining up and women who wanted to date her. The options was plentiful. Ooh, before we close out this, do y'all think Trey did anything that wrong by switching out the names? Was Trey really villain for switching out the names? So that's the big thing that breaks them up in the third act breakup is, so I told you get 3 matches and then you get a wild card. Trey is her wild card. We find out that Trey switched the matches. Now, you can't fool me. You cannot fool me. You cannot fool me. I knew from the beginning that Trey had switched the matches. Because I knew there had to be a reason. Like Trey was gonna do something. I knew Trey was lying about something. Something wasn't right about Trey. And like in books like this, especially young adult books, the love interest is always going to do something shady. The love interest is always, that's just the beat. I read so many young adult books. I read like over 50 young adult books a year. Like it happens in every single one of them. The love interest is always going to be a part of something slightly shady, and like it's going to be uncovered. And I knew the minute he was her match, I said, Trey set this up. I thought Trey set it up with Bree. That was going to be how it worked. Like they both set it up and that was going to be the way. But like, no, Trey switched the matches, and that's how he got matched up with her. Do y'all think Trey did something wrong? Is that just like unforgivable? Did Trey deserve to be left at the dance, and then she hugging all up on Dev? I was just, when Dev came back, by the way, if you didn't read the book, Dev comes back and regrets breaking up with her because like obviously he does, because he doesn't change anything about his life. After he breaks up with her, he acts exactly the same. Like he's still like wanting to date girls. He still wants to go to the dance. So like, why did you break up with her if you was still gonna do all the stuff you was doing when you was with somebody? I thought he was breaking up with her to just be like fun, free, but like he still is trying to be tied down. He's upset. One of the girls he matched with didn't want him. And so you still want to be with people. You still deeply want to be with people. So I didn't understand that. But like, did Trey do something that bad? Let's talk. He would have been in the doghouse for a few days, but he didn't do nothing that bad. She was so quick to go back to Dev at the dance. Trey should have saved his breath and moved on. Thank you. There had to have been somebody better at the school than Trey. Trey got money, his body teeth. But like Trey, like there had to be somebody better at the dance for Trey. Like, why was Trey so obsessed with Leela? This just goes back to me not liking Leela, I guess, because like this goes back to the inconsistency and why I can only give this book a 4-star. Leela is inconsistent as a character, and I guess it's just to show how like roped up she is in Dev. Like everyone does something to her, and they're the worst fucking person in the world. But when Dev does something, it's just like, that's just Dev. That's just Dev. It's not that deep. It's just not that deep. Like, oh my gosh, y'all don't understand it. We so in love. We so in love. And it's just like, maybe we needed like a longer prologue chapters to like really see what this relationship was given, because I was just like, you forgiven Dev for more. Like you forgiven Dev. Like Dev has done more. You forgave him. Like be serious. Thank you. When he pulled up in the blue Tesla, I said, I said, no way. Like, and then when they pulled up to his house, and he had like a circle driveway and his house was huge, I said, and we worry about Dev and his fuck ass minivan. We worry about Dev and his fuck ass minivan, and y'all aren't going to college with each other next year. Let's keep that in mind. Y'all are not going to college next weekend. Also, another funny moment is when Trey gets her to skip school, and Trey is just like, actually, I'm not skipping school. I have permission to be here. And she's like, so I'm the only person skipping school right now. He said, it looks like it. Like, just funny. The book is funny. I don't know what to tell you. There was good chemistry between the two characters. On Trey lying, somebody had to. That's how I feel about Trey switching out the matches. It didn't matter if Bree did it. It didn't matter if Trey did it. She should not have gone on a date with Dev. Like like if Trey didn't switch out the matches, she would have went on a date with Dev and they would have ended up back together. And here we are at the start of the motherfucking book. Like, you were obsessed with this boy for no damn reason. He broke up with you and was under another woman the next day. Like, he didn't want to be with you no more, girl. And the only reason he want to be with you at the end of the book is because he see you with other girls and none of his matches worked out. He see you with other people and none of his matches worked out. That's why he wants you in the end. So Trey was doing you a favor. You needed to be with somebody new, and it was time to give Trey a chance. So no, I don't care. Her acting like a fucking fool at the dance because he did it. If I was Trey, I wouldn't even say nothing. I wouldn't even say, because keep in mind, we leaving this place in 2 weeks. I wouldn't even say nothing. Like, you already don't like me. You already don't like me. We already be going back and forth and beefing back and forth. I would have just told you down the line, girl. Like, like I switched out the matches, right? Because the thing is, if you don't want Dev no more, it shouldn't even matter that I switched out the matches. Like, be serious. She was overreacting. It was not that goddamn deep, and I am Team Trey. I don't think so. Were they? Chat, tell me. Did they ever tell her? No, Trey was going to Columbia. Trey got into Columbia because Dev's going to Harvard, right? I know Dev and Trey are both going to Ivy Leagues, and Leela didn't get in. Trey's going to Columbia, right? They're definitely not going to the same school. Trey is going to some Ivy League, and so is Dev, and that's how that's gonna go. Trey's going to Brown. Trey got into Brown. Yeah, Trey's going to Brown. That's how that works. And Trey is going there, and Dev is going to Columbia. That's how it is, friend. Trey's going to Brown, Ivy. She's going to Rochester. Is that how you pronounce that college, friends? And then what's his name? Dev got into Columbia. So she got into the worst school of the three. But no, Trey is off to bigger and better. Trey is off to bigger and better. Trey is off to Brown. And Dev is going to Columbia. And shout out to her. But yeah, no, they're not going to the same college. So that's at the end of the day, when Leila is making everything out to be so goddamn serious, it's not that goddamn serious. They are all going to different schools. And then when you get to the epilogue, it still says nothing about them still being together after this is all said and done. It's just yeah, we're cool. It's not that deep. This is not that deep for anybody except for Leila. Leila is the only person dragging this shit. Everybody else is we graduate in 2 weeks. We are all going all over the country. It's not that deep. She is the only one carrying this. Yes, that's it. Yeah, what I say, he got money. He got money. He's going to Brown. He's funny. No, Trey was the perfect catch. Leila didn't deserve it. Leila did not. He told a few, distasteful jokes, a few tasteless jokes in his youth. And all of a sudden, it was just on him. It was just on him. And I'm just it's not that deep. Trey got a lot going on, but Trey was not worried about her all that much either, child. Dev going to Cornell? Now, what is it now? What is it now? Now, where people going? Where people going? And should have. I wouldn't have told her a goddamn thing. Yes, she took this too serious. She literally thought whoever she ended up with at the end of high school was who she was going to be with forever. Now, I wanted to save a couple minutes let me make sure I got through my notes. I did like that Trey apologized for his antics because yes, they're all jokes, but jokes do hurt people, right? You should apologize for saying rude things to people in your youth. I like a name. Y'all put me in a class with a bad name. It's weird. It's weird. Anyways, I will talk to you guys next month. We are going to be reading Joya Goffney Has Made Her Triumphant Return with My Week with Him. This is next month's book. Okay, I will see you guys later.